Good morning, everyone. Welcome, everybody online. I've been having a thought. I know that's funny, isn't it? I had a thought. I was like, the pastor's thinking. I said, don't get scared yet. But I've been working this thought this week because we've been working for my city. I love my city. I love people. I'm not sure exactly what you love. We'll find out as we go. But I had this thought, and can you, y'all go with me on this, okay? Can you love without feeling? That's something I want you to, I've been thinking this out. Can you love without feeling? Can you care without feeling? Because I was trying to figure out, is it possible for that to happen? The only thing but what happens is if you're going to love without feeling, that means nothing is really going to happen. Are you going to care without feeling? And then let me change it around for what if if you love, then there has got to be action associated with the love. So I can love with action, I can care with action, but not necessarily need feeling for it. Because I think that will come later. Those things, that will happen. I do think that will happen. So I've been thinking about this, and we've been talking about, the next few weeks. I love my city. What do you love? I love my church. I love my car. We're going to talk about and I'm not sure if we know exactly what love is when it comes to that. So do you think that you love, or I do care? And let me say this going into it. Jesus came along and said, this is what it looks like. This is what love is how it's supposed to act, and it's supposed to be. And I think that in the Christian community, because I was born in it, and I've been seeing it for a while, in the Christian community, I think church is supposed to be free. That's how we see this, because Christianity is free. If you accept Jesus Christ in your life, that is because he paid for it, and it's free to you. And I think we like the free. Many of you got free T-shirts today. We like free stuff, and that's why we do these things. We know that. You like free food too. I got that. So that's the two things. If you do T-shirts, it's T-shirts, food, and donuts, and your church will go crazy. That's just what will happen. So we gotta look at this. So I want to know how this works when it comes to Jesus Christ, when it comes to him telling us what we love. He said, "For God so loved the world." This is John 3:16. You'll see this everywhere. I see it like Sports Saturday. I see everybody holding these signs up at the football games and stuff. John 3:16. "For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life." So, I'm going to throw you a curveball. Did God do this without feeling, or did he just do this because of action toward us? Because he demonstrated his love toward us through what he did with Jesus Christ. He said, I'm going to show you. I'm not just going to write it in a book. I'm not going to put it in the stars. I'm going to actually show you how I love. So he sent his Son, Jesus Christ, to die for us. And so his action, watch this, his action told me what he loved. And see, that's what you got to find out as we walk into this. Because your action is going to kind of tell you what you love. That's a really good verse, but my favorite verse is, I'm going to read it to you. My favorite verse is John 3:17. And this is where you come in now. This is where you come in. This is why we're here, is to make this happen. So if I'm going to love, then I have to demonstrate that love. There must be some kind of action. "For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world through him." So I love that part, because he didn't come to condemn me. He come to save me. I'm not gonna call you out. This was really strange, wasn't it? It's kind of love. I'm not going to call you out. I'm going to send my Son, Jesus Christ. He's going to die for you because I love you. It's not based on a feeling or not your actions. This is what you have to get. It's based on his actions toward us. Watch this. You actually matter. I actually count in this world. And he loves me. And so he demonstrated that. And so I get to the part where, what do we love? Who do we love? Again, let's go back to the Christian thought. And we're going to have some fun. You're going to get to talk to him in a minute, but not too much. Just a little bit, okay? We're going to have some fun. So we have the Christian thought. The Christian thought is this: Jesus Christ, salvation, I accept Jesus Christ in my life. You don't have to earn that. You don't have to do nothing. That has been paid for because he demonstrated his love toward you through Jesus Christ. So that is going to be free. What happens after that is you want free, watch this, and you want easy. And you don't live in that place. Salvation was free to you, but the gospel will cost. It will cost. And if you want to love people, there has to be some action. Listen, I actually do stuff for people I don't really feel. You ever notice that? I just do it. I don't. It's just part of who I am and what I'm supposed. Do we do this thing out of we're supposed to do this? And if we're going to listen to this, if we're going to reach our community and we're going to love our city and we're going to do all those things, there's going to have to be something done from you and your part. Or this could be just another good day, hopefully, for you. So when I look at John 3:17, I find out why we're here. We're here to move people to Jesus Christ. That's why you exist. That's why you're here. That's why you became a Christian. You're in this thing. And when it comes to love, when it comes to actions, I'm not sure if we know how to do that yet. I'm not sure if we understand the kind of love he's been talking about because it's kind of hard. I've got to love people, and I demonstrate my love toward people that I don't really like. And so he had to change some things because of that, by the way. He had to do some stuff. So, if I told you, I said, all right, I love my golf clubs. You want me to tell you how I know I love my golf clubs? Because I pay attention to them. When I get ready to play golf, I got some stuff today. Okay, this is the men's pocketbook. I just want you to know. We put stuff in here. Just like you wouldn't put stuff in your pocketbook, we got our stuff. Some of you could build a house out of your pocketbook. You got so much in there. So if I say I love, see how this works? I love my golf club. I love my daughter. I love my dogs. I love my wife. So do you think we're a little bit screwed up on it? A little bit. How do we? So you can't. Do I love my golf clubs more than I love my daughter? Let's don't go too far with that. Let's just stay in the room with me. So there's a different kind of love because my love is, do I love my golf clubs? Yeah. And I demonstrate my love toward my golf clubs? Yeah, because I pay attention to them. I watch videos. I try every way I can. I clean them up. I'm always, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. And see, this is what Jesus is trying to tell us. If we really care about reaching people, we need to think about it. It's got to be intentional. It can't be, just hope for the best. So here's what we're going to do, and I need you to listen very carefully. I'm going to show you some pictures, and I want you to talk to me. There's going to be one word. When you see the picture, what is your one word? Now let me help you, and everybody watching online, let me help you. We are in a church, and I don't want to hear anything other than good stuff, okay? Not good stuff, but you know what I mean. So keep all that other stuff. Most of you have come here to ask forgiveness for all the stuff you've done all week. I got it. So let's watch that. So I'm going to throw those pictures up, and you have to give me the one word that you think. If you don't know what it is, this will be fun. This will be more fun for me than you. I like that. All right, first picture. Here we go. DMV. It's a DMV. I know what it is. So what does it make you feel like? What? Waste of time? Impatient? Hey, did you ever thought about hanging out with those people? Just go in there one day. You don't really need anything. Just want to sit down and talk to them? No, you have not. So you actually do something you don't love. Is that pretty much what I misheard? Okay. It's a have to, and there's a whole lot of have to. Here's the next picture. What we got? Stress, love, Ativan, alcohol. What else did I hear? Pain. You know what I see up here? Free gas. I'm going to say something that's going to make my staff just go crazy. Where are you? All right. Free gas. It's a legal high for pastors. And so we got a whole thing down here that bring the pastor. It was like, oh, yeah, man, we're loving this stuff. I can preach out of that stuff, I can tell you. So not happy there? You go because you have to? This is not my favorite. I am soaking wet when I get out there. Next picture, here we go. Frustration, stress. I say fun because brownies are there. I don't know about you when you go to Walmart. I'll go to Walmart. You know what's great about Walmart? You just get out of bed. You just roll out, roll in the car, and my wife said, you're gonna dress up. If I dress up at Walmart, they'll notice me. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just not gonna do it. So here's the thing when we say we love, and this is pretty interesting. When we say we love, how do we know that we love? How does other people know that we love? And this is what Jesus was trying to tell us. He said, you have to demonstrate your love towards someone in order for this thing to work. So I think we read a lot of scriptures. We might know some Bible verses. Some are new to this. But if you're not actually engaging with those verses, it's not working. The scripture lays there until somebody moves it. Until somebody does it, it just stays. So for me to say, I love you, it means I've had some kind of action toward you. That's what you have to realize. So if let me watch this. I don't have another picture. But if I were to put up a picture of church, what do you think would happen? What would be the one words? Would it be love? Will it be care? There's a lot of people that are not here because that didn't work out so good. You see what I'm saying? Somewhere along the line, who we were supposed to be, we got lost. And then we become more religious and more judgmental, more than loving. And it's the opposite of what Jesus told us to do. So some people are not really, when you say church, they want to run. So Jesus did something that you need to know about. And here's the verse. He says, I'm going to give you, watch this. Since you're no good with the other stuff and is no good with the old stuff, I'm going to give you a new commandment. I give you that you love one another, even as I've loved you, that you also love one another. By this, all men will know that you are my disciples if you have love for one another. If we demonstrate love for one another, they'll know who we are. That's what he's saying. He said the old way, this is what I think you need to pay attention to. The old way of loving was, I'm going to love people like I love myself. And he had to change it because it wasn't working. Because you have a lot of self-issues, don't we? It's hard sometimes to even love ourselves. He said, I don't want you to love people like you love you. I want you to love people like I love them. Well, how I demonstrate my love toward them, how I cared for them. I'll tell you this, it's hard to do. It's hard to love people sometimes. But that's why we're still here. He says, I want you to be able to demonstrate this new love that I have given you. I want you to do it for people that are not like you. We have to realize that. From the old command to the new command, so what does it look like to love like Jesus? You know how hard that is? Go to Walmart and walk around and try to figure out what's happening. You see, if you walk around and you see purple hair and red hair and nose rings, then you're missing it. Do you know that if you go to the New Testament, he never saw the outside. He was always looking for the heart. He was always looking for it. This is an uncommon love. This isn't the thing you're used to. This is not a natural response to love people who are not like you. It's not a natural thing. The natural thing is to love you. That's why he said, I'm going to change the command. So it's uncommon. It's an intentional love. Last week, we identified people we should be loving and who we want to know Jesus Christ. It's intentional and it's unconditional. That's just what it is. It's unconditional. He used this with Zacchaeus. We talked about this 2 weeks ago. He talked about the guy climbing up in the tree. And all those thousands of people, Jesus looked up in the tree, said, you come on down. We're going to go to your house today. He was the worst sinner of the worst, according to the people around him. because all of them were loving him like they loved themselves. And Jesus shows up and said, no, I don't want you to love like you. I want you to love like me. I want to be with him. I want him in the game because he's worth all the things that you think he's not worth, he's worth. And so he started demonstrating love. It's really amazing how God loved us even when we were a mess. And if you don't think you're a mess, you're the only one because we're all over a mess, and he loved us all. Love is activated when love is given. Love is activated when love is given. The Bible is activated when you do it. If you read it and don't do it, nothing happens. It all happens because of what happens to you. I'm at Walmart last week. Like I said, I love going over to Walmart. I go to Walmart. Now, I don't know. You help me figure this one out. Let's just say that I'm pulling into Walmart, and you know there's a lot of people running around, and a lot of people are asking for money everywhere. You know how that works. The problem with this one is, here's the problem. If you remember, I told you, I said, God set me up because he'll bring the people to you. Well, I didn't really mean for that early in the morning. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, I didn't dress for this. I didn't know he was going to do it. So I get out of the car, and I watch this lady walking around. So here she comes. Now, think about what's about to happen, and you know what's about to happen. So she's going to come over to me, and she says, my car's ran out of gas. You heard this one? She ran out of gas. I said, where's your car? She pointed somewhere like Piedmont or somewhere. Or I don't know. It could have been Atlanta. I don't know. The whole thought was, there's really not a car. You hadn't picked that up yet. But listen, it doesn't matter to me if she has a car. It doesn't matter to me if she's telling us she's lying, which she was. I picked up on that quick. But she was in my path. This one's that walked to me. Remember this? I set me up. I don't know what God was doing with her or what was happening with her. All I know, I was the one. So she comes up to me and said, you have any cash? And I said, I don't have any cash. Do you have cash? Dig in that deep pocketbook, lady. Let's find some cash. I said, I don't have any cash. Now watch this. So I said to her, I don't have any cash, but I'm going into Walmart, and when I come out, I'll bring you some cash. And I said, where are you going to be? She says, I'll be in the parking lot. I said, okay. So I go in, and I bring my $20 out. I got her $20. I was like, I'm jumping all in this one. I know you ain't going to use it for gas. I don't know what you're going to do, but it isn't my responsibility to figure out what you're going to do with it. My responsibility to do what God told me to do, and that's to get you $20, and I'm going to get it to you. So I go out in the parking lot. This is the craziest thing. So I go riding around, looking for this lady. I never saw her. You know why she wasn't there? Because she didn't trust me. She didn't believe I was coming back with money. Have you ever said that to somebody? I'll come back, I'll bring you some money, and you didn't have any intention of doing that. I'm just saying, if we're going to be who we are in Jesus Christ, we need to do what we say we're going to do. We need to demonstrate love to people who don't deserve it. Some of you was like, you know what? Some of you just stayed in the car and turned up the radio and just hang on until everybody leaves. Do you think I wanted to mess with that morning? I had to get dog food. I mean, I'm having to get dog food. I'm just trying to get food for the dogs. And then here we go. So that's what was happening. What would you have done? That's what I'd like to know. What would you do? That's the question. What we're going to do with what we know we need to do. Love cannot be a feeling. Care cannot be a feeling. It's got to be an action. Then you have to figure out, what do you really love? Do I really love my golf clubs? I sure do. I love my golf clubs. I'm done. I'm going to go play golf right now. So y'all have a good day. I love my golf clubs. But you have to think about something. Since this is the pocketbook for men, let me show you what I got in here. I'm showing you secrets that cannot be told. Men, listen up. Okay. So what I do, I go to the golf course, and I think, this is how I think. If it snows, do I have enough stuff? If I get caught out in a blizzard, do I have enough? So anyway, and I always try to prepare. So I have scissors, This is to cut. Now this is to cut the lead tape that goes on the bottom of the clubs. Some people say that is illegal. I just say it makes life more fair. So I have that. This right here in case I need to pull. Let me tell you what I do. I make these clubs. I put them together. I don't actually make them out of a tree or something. So I put them together, and it has been known that these club heads won't stay on after I glue them. So you only get about 100 swings, and then the club goes flying off into the fairway. My brother's done this. He's not here. He's here. But it's funny about the ball go a really long way, but then the club head's right behind it. It's amazing stuff. So anyway, let's see what else I got here. All right, now this right here, I have a vacuum cleaner. Okay. Clean my shoes, clean the golf cart, clean my truck, everything I need. So that's kind of that's right there. I have some more stuff in here. Let me show you that. This is the glue. This is glue. Right here, this is epoxy. Takes about 20 minutes. So when you break your club on the golf course, I put it back together. I did this several times at Myrtle Beach because I'm the one that put the club together. So I know it's coming apart. So that's what happens there. Let's see if I got anything else in here. I don't think I got any more. Oh, yeah. This right here. This, I can bend the club back into shape, or if there's a tree in the way, a branch, all the things, it's called cheating. But here we go. Just want to let you know that. So I got that one. All right. The most important, the women would agree with this. The women would agree with this. This is the most important thing in there. This is to make sure your tan lines are good as you're playing and you're looking around. And you want to make sure you don't want your hat crooked. You got to look good. You just got to look good. So we have all this. And then the Bible speaks. It's kind of crazy. The Bible speaks and talks about the man in the mirror. Not the woman in the mirror. Because the woman in the mirror is going to hang out. She's going to have more than one mirror. But this man in this story does not have more than one mirror. He only has one mirror. And so we have to look at what he's talking about, the man in the mirror. So here's what you have to hear. He says, so I want you to be doers of the word and just not listeners. So let's ask that question. So what do you think you're doing today? Are you trying to hear something that you can do? Are you just here for a T-shirt? Or do we really want to demonstrate love? Or are we just going to hear this? This could be a really good, it could. If you pay attention, it could. Deceiving yourselves. What it means is that I think I'm one way, but I'm really not. But I think I am. And so he adds the mirror in there. I want y'all to look at your face. Everybody look at your face right now. It's not possible, is it? It's not possible. You don't need one of these. So the Bible is really cool. He makes this statement about it. So here's what he says. For a person who just listens and doesn't obey, in other words, you don't do what you hear, he's like a man looking at his face in a mirror. As soon as he walks away, he can't see himself anymore and remember what he looks like. It's like, you ever saw yourself? Imagine if you've never seen yourself and somebody took a picture somewhere and you say, who is that? If we don't live in that world, how many selfies are taken every day by teenage girls all around the world? Can you only imagine? He's saying if you say you're one thing and you don't do it, then you're like a man looking in the mirror. You just forgot you just forgot everything that you were supposed to be doing. He said, you got to look intently in this. He said, you got to pay attention because what happened is going to reveal, is this really who I am? Do I really care about that lady at Walmart? How do I know I cared? Because I was demonstrating love. Do I know her? I don't even know her name. I don't even know her name. I really don't. So I was trying to demonstrate, looking at demonstrating love toward her through helping her in some way. So it's like he's saying, if you're looking in the mirror and you don't do what you're supposed to be doing, you forget who you are. So you know who we are, right? We're the ones that move the kingdom of God. We're the ones that make this happen over and over again. We're the ones that make it work. We have to think like that. But if anyone keeps looking steadily into God's law for free men, in other words, I'm paying attention to God's word, he will not only remember, but he will do what he says. And God will greatly bless him in everything he does. So I'm not just saying I love you. I have to demonstrate that. You have to demonstrate that somehow, some way. And that's why we're here. If we're going to love our city, we got to identify who they are. And we got to connect. For my city, I connect. We have to do those things. One another, getting into some group, living life alone by yourself is not what the Bible intended. For my city, I serve. I got to do something great this week. To be honest with you, it was more fun than I thought. Pastor Reggie in Greenville and myself, we got to go to the Ronald McDonald House. And this is right up my alley, by the way. We cooked chocolate chip cookies for the kids. Our biggest hurdle was turning on the oven. That was pretty good. And nobody spoke English, really. So we were trying to figure it all out ourselves. So I got to bake these cookies. I did not eat any. That was my promise to God, that I'm going to give these away. And I gave those cookies away. We made those. So I think the thought, when's the last time you actually served somebody without it being something you have to do? And do we even think about that when it comes to reaching people? For my city, I give. That's part of me. I don't know if it's part of you, but I give. I like giving things away. I'll do stuff on the golf course. I'll give things to people. Every week I have to buy a lunch or buy a dinner. I have to buy something. I have to give somebody something because that is my value system. And it doesn't work for me if I'm not giving something because I actually care. I found out through this whole thing I actually care. You ever been that like, I don't know if I care anymore? Well, I still do. It's been really cool watching it, getting all that. For my city, I share. We have to remember that. This is not just about us. For God, watch this, God's will on earth can only be activated by the actions of the believer in Jesus Christ. He gave it to you. He told you he wanted you to do it. And it's in our hands. And nothing moves without you. Love cannot be demonstrated without you. The Bible does not come alive unless you do it. It is demonstrated by us showing it to other people. That's what happens. Nothing moves on this earth unless you move. And I think that's what Jesus has been trying to tell us. Now think about this. If you're going to reach our city, then we'll have to make a move. So let me ask you this. Watch this. Hold on a minute. I love my towel, yeah. It's got Masters on it. I played there like 4 or 5 times. I have not. So let me say, all right, maybe, hopefully it was a good message. Hopefully it was a good speech. You know, you come up here, work really hard, hope somebody gets it, that kind of thing. So we know the scripture can only be activated if you're doing it. And then he says, then you'll be blessed and you'll see what it can do. Most people will never know what it can do because you won't act out on it. Because if you think this is all you and it's all free and it's all, I just want an easy life and I just want a free, then you won't have either. It won't be any good. We're here to move the kingdom. We're here to reach people. And you have to make a move. So if I were to hold this up to you, isn't it a pretty mirror? David, can you see yourself? No, you cannot. If I hold it up to you and we really look intently into it, like the Bible said, what do you see? Are you the real deal? Are we the real deal for our community? Are we the real deal for our city? Are we the real deal? Because we're going to have to make a move. We identified people last week. If you remember, we identified people the last few weeks. We've been praying for them. So we're going to make a move. What the kind of love that Jesus is talking about is, it's not common, it's uncommon, it's intentional, and it's reckless. It's like the lady at Walmart. For me, that's a little bit scary, isn't it? You watch the news enough, you think, oh, this could be bad. This could go down wrong. It's a little reckless, but I still cared. She just missed out on $20. If you're here today, come get it. I don't know. I'm just serious. We have to decide how this is going to look and what we're going to do. And we have to make the move. So here's what I'll do. Let's do this. Let's stand together if you would. We'll be done. Make sure you got your shirts. You'll get to go eat early. Most of you. We have to decide if we're going to care. And it can't be just a church thing or a social media thing. It's got to be a person-to-person thing, and that would be you. If you know Jesus Christ, we have to show love intentionally over and over again. We have to pay attention to it. You have to work it into your life on a weekly basis. I'm not spiritual all the time, if that makes any sense. And maybe not. But some days I'm not on like I want to be, because that's just being human. But my intent is to move people to Jesus Christ. That's my intent. Good, bad, or ugly, that's what I want to do. Here's what I'd like to do. If you would like to accept Jesus Christ in your life, because we have people here I know have been waiting for this moment. So everybody bow your head if you would. If you'd like to accept Jesus Christ in your life, pray this prayer with me. Jesus, I ask that you come into my life and change me. Make me a new person. I want to follow you. I ask that you forgive me of my sin. Forgive me for not following you sooner. I believe you died for me. I believe you rose from the dead for me. I give you my life in Jesus' name.